Welcome to the worst case scenario for crypto. I've compiled some of the biggest issues for crypto regulation and how those issues could turn out totally wrong for your current crypto holdings. This is the latest episode in the series, so if you are just tuning in, I suggest that you start with the first episode. But if you've been tracking with me this entire time, then you obviously know that this episode will be packed with knowledge. So crank up the bass and blast the volume because we are about to pump out some crazy stuff. But before I unload all of that good news, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Now, let's go see what the worst case scenario for crypto could be if regulation does indeed come. The future of cryptocurrency is at an absolutely crucial and critical juncture, in my opinion. With recent cases like FTX and now Grayscale's bankruptcy hitting headlines, it's clear that regulators are starting to take notice of the crypto space. So what are the worst case scenarios for crypto when it comes to regulation in the United States? At a 10,000 foot level, the worst outcomes for any regulator is that their laws could be too easy to break for only the rich and well lawyered. This leads to a monopoly or oligopoly where the power to control product quality and prices are centralized with a single or a few industry operators that use legal loopholes to dominate and keep others out who are ignorant of the loopholes. Whew, that was a mouthful. This is similar to a blanket ban on a certain industry, but just barely allows certain privileged businesses to operate. An example of this is the telecom industry in China. In many regions of China, you can only buy phones manufactured by Huawei. So there is a virtual ban on all other phone manufacturers like Apple, Samsung, but Huawei is allowed to operate. Now, China has their crazy information control reasons for that ban, but that example could actually help you to understand how the worst case scenario could play out for crypto in the United States. Not saying it will, but not saying it won't. Regulations could also fail if the laws that are implemented let just anyone operate and put the security and safety of citizens at high risk. This is a very tangled web that we weave, and there has to be an ebb and flow. The example of this is, well, crypto. Seriously, look at the complete havoc that FTX has been able to wreak over Americans' money and the effect that Luna had over the world. Right now, crypto regulation has mostly enjoyed a laissez-faire regulatory environment. As long as your platform or wallet is collecting KYC information, you can basically write into your own terms of service anything that you want. Judge Martin Glenn, the chief U.S. bankruptcy judge in the Southern District of New York, said in a court case on January 4th that Celsius's terms of service made it clear that it took possession of all crypto assets deposited into its earned product. Yeah. You heard that right. The judge said that based on Celsius's terms of use, that when the user's cryptocurrency assets were deposited in earned accounts, the cryptocurrency assets became Celsius's property. And my guess is that we will probably see something similar with FTX too. We are unlikely to see that with the Coinbases or any other exchanges that have to pass the scrutiny of the US stock market and the SEC. The worst regulation in this area would be for the government to allow exchanges to continue to rob American citizens out of their deposits. Now, you could make the libertarian argument here that would claim that the people should have read the terms of service and those that didn't should not get a government to come in and save them. But the reason why this is a worst case scenario is because these predatory exchanges will scare people off when they inevitably collapse, and that could set back the crypto industry by absolute decades. Regulation is a tricky balance, and if you think about it, there is a reason why the government has to be strong to ensure certain rights and standards are maintained. As we have seen, thieves and crooks never miss an opportunity to try to steal your money. But it is not just laws that a government can regulate through. If regulators decide to classify crypto as a whole, as a security with no loopholes, then it could have a pretty devastating impact across the industry. This designation would subject crypto projects to a host of burdensome regulations that could stifle innovation and make it nearly impossible for small companies to compete. And every large company started as a small company. Small businesses are the backbone of the United States economy. The worst case scenario would actually empower the SEC to halt or even shut down projects that they deem as non-compliant with securities laws. And I say this so that you can keep an eye on the SEC versus Ripple XRP case that looks like it will be decided on this year. That case hinges on this exact question. An SEC win would limit the ability of new projects to raise funds and would make it harder for existing projects to operate. Now, unlike China, the US, along with other Western countries like Canada, the UK, Germany, and France, have thankfully not issued a blanket ban on crypto. And to be honest with you, the US actually seems open to it. This would obviously be the ultimate worst case scenario for crypto, but many experts doubt that the US ban would ever happen. But But the way that America's internet infrastructure is built also differs drastically from countries like China that sought to develop a walled garden version of the internet from its earliest stages. So a ban is theoretically the worst thing that regulators could do to crypto, but they likely could not ban it even if they wanted to, which it seems that they do not. Now, this next one might be the most edgy and controversial take that I will publish on this channel all week. Ready? There's a lot of people that think that the approval of a crypto spot ETF could actually be a worst case scenario for crypto in the long run. Don't shoot the messenger. They're saying that while it may seem like a win for crypto on the surface, it could lead to commoditization of crypto and the domination of institutional players, leaving real investors like you out in the cold. And they go even further and say that this could lead to increased manipulation and volatility as large players would be able to move the market with giant investments. Now, tell me in the comments, are the biggest whales already invested, or will big banks or shadow organizations only enter when Bitcoin returns to fresh lows? And let's keep it moving, because let's be real. The only thing worse than the US figuring out a way to ban crypto would be a giant rise of institutional money coming in to manipulate the market. We just don't want anybody to enter with nefarious intentions. This scenario could actually spell the end of decentralized crypto as we know it, and the portfolios of a lot of people being evaporated and eviscerated in the meantime. The outcome of the Ripple case, the classification of crypto as a commodity, the passing of a spot ETF, and the rise of CBDCs across the world all have the potential to shape the future of crypto in many different ways. It is crucial and critical that we as a community stay vigilant and help to mold these regulations in the proper manner for the betterment of the crypto industry in the future and the very beneficial technology behind it. I really appreciate you tuning into this series and watching it until the end. You are one of the few who are in a genuine pursuit of the truth. My final epic conclusion from this series is that regulators are ready to pounce ever since FTX filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. They aren't going to be able to stand idly by anymore while these crypto businesses milk American investors for their money. And my guess is that 2023 is going to be the year that regulation comes down like a tsunami on crypto. And I'm telling you, those who are ready and poised and get ahead of this are going to absolutely thrive, and those who aren't are going to get washed away or ran over. Take a wild guess which one I'm going to be. But that is all that I have for this video, and make sure that you go watch the previous ones if you haven't already. And if you like content like this, make sure that you smash that like button. Make sure you hit subscribe, boom, bang on that notification bell. Comment anything that you want in the relevant sections. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for showing up to this video. I will see you in the next one. Have a good day, everyone.